And yes, we are live. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It is so good to be here again on my intentional. Every time, every time we gather here, it feels like heart to heart conversation. And today, I'm especially excited because we are about to hear a story. And I believe this story one of us here to this platform. Our own very Coach Wendy, our own very mama. Every week to week, we come in here, we listen to ourselves, and lives are being shifted. That's because someone chose to obey the call to raise parents with sense, parents with excellence, parents with legacy. Coach Wendy, we honor you, ma. We celebrate you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Now, moving on. Today, we have a guest in the house. Someone who's really special. She's not just a mom. She's not. She's an intentional mom who has been intentional in parenting with us, in the parenting aspect with her path. She's also a visionary in business and the founder of Bed Drake Enterprises. Please, let's welcome Mrs. Edith Oshiafi. I hope I pronounced it well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for going to for accepting to open your heart and share your journey with us. And for everyone who is just joining us, who is just tuning in here for the first very time, here's what you're going to expect. This is not a theory. It is not a place. It is a lived experience. Parents who come here to share their struggles and their wins and their breakthrough that have happened through the Intentional Parents Academy. Intentional parenting is what you're going to expect today. So I want you to encourage yourself and others who are around you to tune in and listen. Share this link with other parents you know who you know that I don't know. I'm sure parenting is land. So many people don't know. You just don't wake up and you know it. And I'm sure someone is sitting somewhere and they are waiting for this opportunity. And this is the opportunity they need. They can't get it if you don't share the link. Please take a moment, share the link, and let's move on. So, as we get started, Mrs. Edith, please, thank you for this opportunity. And parents in the building, please lean in because I am sure you're about to be blessed. Thank you so very much, ma. So, we want to hear from you, Mrs. Edith. Let's start from the beginning. How did you first hear about the Inner Circle program? What made you decide to join the Inner Circle program? What made you decide to be here till today? Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited. Like, it's a great privilege to be here. You don't know how excited I am to be finally here. Wow. Um, I got to know about the Intentional Parent Academy in 2021. Yes, I think 2021. So I've always been that person who knows that she wants to get the best from her parenting. Please, can I be heard?
Yes, of course, one. Can hear you, ma'am.
I have always been one that knew that I wanted to get the best in my parenting journey. So I began to put strategies, steps, but it was just blurry. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I knew somewhere that I didn't have enough knowledge. So one of those days, I was just looking at, it was on WhatsApp status, and I saw happy birthday, Coach Wendy, the number one intentional parent coach. I was like, really? Like, is there really something like parenting coach? As at that time, I didn't know there was something, I didn't know you could be taught how to parent, not to talk of coaching. I was like, this is what I've been looking for. This person. So I went online, I searched the Intentional Parenting Academy, and I began to see things. I was like, how come there is something like this? And I have never heard about it. Like, where? How come I didn't know anything about um something like an intentional parenting academy? That was how I went on YouTube. I began to binge. You know what? You wanted me to binge on a YouTube page. I I used to, and I am a fitness person. I like to run, most especially I like to, jog. The intentional parenting page, YouTube page, became my, how you'll be jogging on the road with headset on and listening to music. It was Coach Wendy. Like, I would listen to her, I would run. In fact, I began to run distances that I didn't even know I could cover because I was listening. I would listen at times, I would pause. What did I just hear? And like, I was so awed. I was like, wow, is there something really like this? And that was where my journey started. At that point, I didn't have, I think that was when we were paying 50K, it was 50,000 naira for the inner circle. So when I listened to her YouTube, when I listened to the YouTube classes, I would hear Yadas, when Yadas get it. When we get to the yard, we would continue. And I was like, yard, which one? Growing up, I grew up among the Igbos. I know when you talk yard, you're talking about compound. I was like, which one is yard again? Compound, yard. So I was like, okay, let me know. So as we continued on the journey, I found out that, okay, there was an annual program. I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I get into this? I didn't have the money. There, as at least 2021, 50K was still big. It was still something big. So I began to do, what you call ajo, saving small, small. Or I don't know what another other tribes call it. I began to keep money aside, small, small, like gently. I first of all paid my booking fee, which was 5K at that time. Then I began to do ajo weekly, monthly. And when my money was complete, the joy I used in paying, I paid immediately. That was when my journey began. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for sharing that. That moment, that you needed more. She said she saw herself and she knew she needed more. And when she saw the link on YouTube, she was able to decide and say, this is what I need. And she jumped on it. She did not just join. No. She did not, for people that is always complaining, I cannot afford it. I don't have all the money. I think this parenting thing is just for people that can afford it. She started being intentional about it and she prioritized it, and today she's here. And I'm sure if you listen to her journey at the end of today, you will see that she have been able to meet up with so many transformation, which is actually worth it. I mean, we all have what we prioritize on. It's all about being intentional. Thank you for sharing that, ma. Going on, ma, I want to know, how long have you been in the inner circle? And what has kept you? What has kept you rooted? What has kept you staying? When coach speaks about the staying power, this is it. I want to know what has kept you in the community, what have kept you in the yard, what have been keeping you moving, the reason behind your staying, ma. Thank you so much. Over to you. Ma, you're muted. I can't
Okay,
hear you.
I'm sorry
Thank
about
you,
that.
ma.
So I joined the yard that same year. That's December 2022. I joined the inner circle. And for me, there's no going back. Yes, what has kept me rooted? Okay, they say we don't say we die here, we live here. We don't die here, we live here. We live in the inner circle. Because what? Where am I going to a place? Where? A place where I wake up in the morning and my agenda for the day is set. For me, inner circle is like a job well done. My own is just come, collect the tool, run. Somebody has done the job already for me. The inner circle for me is like, when they said you drink, it's like living water. When I come, I take, I am re energized to continue the journey. The inner circle is a place where when you think, eh, I will just, I will just keep this one, I will just set it down. One voice note from coach. It could just be one voice note. It could just be a response to somebody's question. It could just be somebody sharing an experience that you just had, and immediately you have light bulbs. And like, where am I going to? There's nowhere to go, man. I'm here. Nowhere to go. I stay here because it has changed my life. It has changed me as a person. It is changing me. It is changing my children. It is changing my business. It's changing my home. It is changing everything around me. So I am here because this is life and we live it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. What you just said reminds me of this thing, this transformation. Some persons think it's just a magic, it just happened in one day. It's not a one-time event. She said it might be someone's response to how they were able to tackle their own struggle. It might be just that one voice note. Coach is always saying some things are taught, why some things are caught. Your cutting process, when you the one you catch, that one you just, it might be the thing that you take home and just it changes your story, it transform everything for you. It's not just one thing that just happened one day. Once you just test that growth and you decide that this is where you're going to stay and you're ready to stay and you're ready to implement, I'm sure and I know, because I'm not a parent. I mean, I'm looking at my parents and how I am able to come to this where I am today, and so many things that were wrong. If my parents knew better, I'm sure, I am so sure that it would have actually been better. But now, me, I'm in this community and I'm learning and I'm seeing, and I'm now realizing that there was so many error. And I tell you, to be honest, you can't know it in one day. If you come into the community, staying will always give you clarity. At every day, clarity comes, you pick it, you go, you pick it, you run. It's the process. Thank you so very much for sharing that, Mrs. Edith. And if you're just joining us, we are on My Intentional Parenting Journey. Mrs. Edith is with us in the building today, sharing her journey, sharing her testimonies. And Mrs. Edith, as we move on, please, I would want to know, you are a visionary person, you run a business. I want to know how you've been able to balance your motherhood, your parenting process, and your business. How you've been able to combine the two and you've been able to balance the two. Thank you so very much. I want to know, as a as a mom and is a foundation of as a founder of Bedrick Enterprise, how have you managed to run your business? How have you managed to balance it with staying intentional in the inner circle? How has the inner circle also equipped you to balance it? Thank you so much, ma. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. So, first, I went into business. I moved into business because I wanted time for my kids. That was my first aim, because I wanted to, even though, we didn't know that even business needs you a lot, especially in the building phases. I am still in the building phases of my business. But the goal of going into business at first was so that I would be able to own my time. Please, can I still be heard?
Yes, ma'am. Clear. We can
Okay.
hear you, ma'am. Sound and clear.
Can so that I okay, thank you so much. So that I can have time for my children, especially because I have young children. So I have 3 children, all under 10. And I know, and with what I have now known, that the foundational years, the early years, are the most critical years in a child's life. I now know that between the ages, and as we have also been taught. Okay, so at the time I wanted to go into business, like I said earlier, I wanted to be intentional, yeah. But I didn't have the, how you are doing things, you are afraid. You are afraid, you don't know what you're doing, you're not sure. But coming into the inner circle gave me confidence. Like, it gave me, how you say you get backing. Inner circle became
It's
my
your
backing.
backing.
Yes, so like I feel proud and know what they do. But before then, yes, I know I wanted to be home. That's why when coach says you can be present but not present. You can be at home, but you're not at home. So that was where I was. Yes, I wanted to be at home. I wanted to be with my children. I wanted to be with the children. But was I present? So, coming to your question, so the business came up as an idea like, okay, while I am raising these children, for these few years I'll be raising these children, may not be say person just sit down. The person need to, they get small thing. Like that was the idea. So, but as I entered and as I grew, I began to find purpose. I began to, through the business, I began to understand that I can still raise my children, do this business, and do it well. I now understood essentialism over balance. Like you see that word, when coach dropped it, I was like, nine it is now this one, gun, define. Essentialism over balance. At different stages of your life, at different points of your life, something would take priority. What is essential? If you want to do so many things at the same level, you will burn out. So you must know what you should do and at what time. At the stage of life where I am in now, I have children under 10. My business is thriving here, but my parenting is first. So they first. And Inner Circle gave me this knowledge. And guess what? Because I am consistent in learning and putting my parenting, my business is not suffering. Because I have learned, Inner Circle has taught me to build structure. It has taught me to build systems. It has taught me to build strategies. It has taught me to build skills. So my business does not have to suffer. Anything, any business that would take me away from the house later than when my kids are coming to school can wait for now. That is how Inner Circle has been able to help me. It has given me, it has given me grit. It has given me confidence that while I am doing this, I can also do my business. But what is at the front burner now? My children. Let me stop here.
Thank you so very much. Did you hear Mrs. Edith? Parents in the building, are you listening? She said it's about the end. It's not about balancing in business. It is not. It is not about perfection. It's about essentialism. And you can be present though, and you're not present. She Inner Circle has given her all the structure and all the system she needs. She's balancing in every angle. She's present in her parenting with all the knowledge she needs. Inner Circle have equipped her with all that strategy to be able to align things, and things are working out perfectly. It's about learning. She says it's about her consistency in learning and applying the systems and applying the structures. That's exactly what the Inner Circle equips you with. You can't be in Inner Circle and you are running business. I'm tired though. Kalu here, kalu there. You are present here. You are not present here. Inner Circle give you. Thank you so very much for sharing that. Thank you. We really appreciate you, ma. So, ma, I would want to know, how has you being in the Inner Circle transformed your parenting journey and your personal life? How has it affected your parenting process and your personal life in a whole, in quotes? Thank you, ma. Over to you.
Okay, being in the Inner Circle has changed me. Those that knew me before now would know that I am that girl that likes to be in the background. I just want to be there, that good girl, that foolish
Nice
virgin,
girl.
no mess. Like I am that Madam Nice, not Madam Kind though, Madam Nice. Like I don't want to talk too much. Let's not be as if I'm showing myself. Let me just be there. Let me just be quiet. But Inner Circle has allowed me, know that when you show up boldly. When you come out, you are able to, there's so much more to me than being in the background. There is so much more to me. My voice also matters. I had this what do they call it? This, what is it? Something syndrome they call it. Like I
Nice
just
girl
feel
syndrome.
like if I do it, what if it's not correct? What if they laugh? What if I don't know? But I have inner circle has, transformed my mindset. Inner circle it is the mindset. Inner
It's all
circle
about
has given me, like I said, inner circle has emboldened me. Now I can walk into a space and express my view and express my thoughts. Inner Circle has positioned me through the webinars, through the voice notes. Like, see, when you even look at Coach alone, when she comes, I'm like, yeah, this woman. Like, she just says it. And I like, let's even, when you follow Coach steadily, that confidence, wherever they don't bury him before, you go show. You don't get choice but to come out. Like, when you see the way she moves, you're like, when a woman like this now, she see me now. So when you, like we say, we as we behold, we become. That is what Inner Circle has done for me. I keep beholding and becoming. I see how coaches, I see coach consistent, being very consistent. This is my third year in the yard. The first year was like, we enter, we just do what is happening. I was implementing, but I was at the background. I was just, watching. Second year, I saw, you see, consistent, and then she keeps growing. What was attainable when I entered in 2021, by 2022, by 2023, it was upgrade. I was like, this thing has changed. 2024 Inner Circle, I said, everything is on, is, you can see growth.
yes.
So Inner Circle has, somehow you will not fit inside water, make soap enter your eye now. No, like, it has helped me that I am growing. I see growth. Like, recently, my husband just made that statement. He said, you've grown. No, he was not specific. He wasn't like, but you don't grow. You've
It's
grown.
not one-sided now. You can't say.
Like, I am not that girl without sense anymore. I don't grow. Like, I have grown. I'm like, yes, even me, I know I have. So Inner Circle has done that for me personally. And I don't want to jump to the webinars. I don't want to jump to the books. We will get there. But
We'll get there. We are there.
each webinar, each voice note grows me. And what I learned is that when you are consistent, coach will say growth is silent. Growth is silent. You are growing, but you don't know. It is when you meet adversity or when something happens, you give yourself, you doff yourself, I feel do this kind thing. You see this stream we are in now. Me 3 years ago, I will not come. First year, I did not do. Second year, I didn't jump because I was still growing. But now I have grown. I can show up and show off. Thank you. Okay.
Beautiful.
And my parenting journey,
Beautiful.
I would bring that in, I would infuse that so I don't take too much time. I would infuse that as we talk about other things
The
as we go along.
webinar.
Yes, as we go along. Yeah.
So much, man. Thank you. That was so amazing. Very beautiful. I love what you said. He said, as you behold, you become. Did you hear that? As you behold, you become. Her consistency keeps showing up for her. Because when you change as a person, your children rise with you. Growth is never one-sided. Her husband could say it. You have grown, oh, but he cannot really lay hand on which side because I mean, every day she's transforming, every day she's upgrading. That's how growth is. Thank you so very much, ma'am. I would want to know further. What are some practical tools or the insight you've gained that change the atmosphere of your home? What are that webinar that changed everything for you? What was the teaching in the inner circle that was the game changer in your home for you and in your life personally? Over to you. Thank you, ma.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I can boldly and confidently say that. At least let me bring it to this year. Even if the teachings might be interwoven from different years, but let me be consistent. Let me stick to this year. I can boldly say that in the past 9 months, I have not missed any webinar. I have not missed listening to any voice note. I have not missed attending any course, neither have I missed reading my wisdom notes. Now, I decided to mention these things because these are the things that are making me. These are the things that are building me. These are the things that come up when you least expect it. Now, what every webinar in the inner circle does for you is you don't know when you might need it. You might not need it at present, but I keep saying inner circle meets you where you are. Something you might meet, something you might encounter, something, and one word will just come to your mind. One webinar that you did not even, that you just attended lackadaisically, would just, one word that coach has said would just, drop in your heart. So I will start. There's no need talking about the induction webinar because that one, everybody, I remembered listening to that webinar on my bed. That kind and induction now, induction now, just to tell us how everything will run. Normal, introduce us to faculty members. Let's enter the main thing. But I said, let me just be there. So I was with my AirPod, like listening on the bed. I was not hearing things. I said, what's happening to
Specify,
this?
I'm not catching you.
Like I said, no, now. Then they teach again for you. Are you going to be taught again during induction? So let me leave that one because everybody, that one, everybody collects.
Everybody collected.
Everybody collects. Everybody collected. Everybody had something. So let me leave that. Now, the next thing that we moved into was when I don't know if when coach asked us to create this thing, family vision and mission. Family values, vision, and mission, because a family is to be run as a business. So if you must see your family as a business, you must have your family mission, vision, and values. Don't be angry. I might mention more than 3 webinars, but I will be fast. I
Number
will just stop.
one, this is
I
your
will,
stage. It's all yours. Bring it up.
I will be fast. So starting with the family vision and mission, when coach said create it, she went ahead and gave us assignments and the media plan. She gave us the assignment. She asked us to, create it, print it, frame it, and hang it. I ran with it. One key thing that has helped me in my journey also is implementation. Implementation. Even though my children, some webinars or some instructions might come, you would think it's for older children. Coach has told us that an intentional parent is a thinking parent. You must always think of ways to, bring it down. There is always a way. You must think. And that is what Inner Circle has also done for me. It has helped me think through processes. Like break everything down. So the family mission and vision, this thing, after creating it, I sat with my husband. My husband was not around, so I wrote down things that I thought would, this is what we should be, this is how we should go. I shared with my husband. My husband was like, that's good. My husband, he's not yet in the yard, but he was a support system. He said, okay, that's good. You can go on. I went ahead, pasted, framed, and kept it. So it is beautiful. It is, in fact, it is one of our ornaments in the wall in my sitting room. So as you are entering my house, your eyes
Be.
is, you will gaze. So no, I don't need to do like this. I don't need to talk too much. You can already see it there. But now that's for adults. Now remember that I have children. They can just read it and that is it. So what I now began to do with that webinar, implementation of that family vision, mission, and the media plan, what I began to do was our family vision. I made an acronym for it because I know that, children, when you use songs, there are things that you use in teaching them. So it is one thing to have your family vision, your values, and all. It is another thing for your children to understand and know what it really is. And because I know that the growing stage within I am privileged to have heard about the Intentional Family Parents Academy now that my kids are young. I should not misuse this privilege God has given to me. So it is time to, begin to indoctrinate these children, begin to help them understand, because I believe that if you can catch them young, the teenage years will be a flex. You won't struggle once the background work has been done. So what I did with it was I created an acronym. So our acronym for our family value is HEREL. So after that, we wrote it down. We now went further. Every month, coach will tell us family meeting, pick your team of the month, pick your, during your family meeting, tell you review the last one, pick your team. So my family value became every month we'll pick a team. It will pick one value. That was my indoctrination process. Pick one value. For example, in our HEREL, in the order is honesty. So we pick honesty. When we pick honesty, from that honesty for that month, our memory verse for the month centered around honesty. Our devotional centered around honesty would pick up people with those skills and treat. Everything we do that month, we are looking forward to honesty. Even the children, they would come up and say, I was honest today. No, this is not honest. That way, I began to put in. We began to indoctrinate. Now, when you ask my children are 8, 5. Okay, the other one is still a baby. She's just a year and 2 months. But my 5-year-old knows our family values by heart. He doesn't just know honesty, entrepreneurship. No, he knows what they mean. And we play it out as role play. Every day, we begin to see this. That is what that did for me. It also helped me. So my children are not anyhow. They know that this is not honest. They know that this is not excellent. My children they will come to you and say, Mommy, I did an excellent job today. I did excellence today. I had to. I'm like, yes. So it is now becoming a lifestyle. My family values is now being lived. It's not just being hung on the wall. No, it is being lived. I see my children live it day in, day out. And I live also because they also come to me when they think I have done something contrary. And I wear my humility agbada with all pride, unashamedly, and apologize and redress. Because even me self, I am learning. I will tell them, so you see, that's why I'm teaching you. You are privileged to know this. See, mommy struggling at an old age. Whenever I do come again, I would always, correct and let them know that I'm vulnerable. That is for family value. I have stayed too long on that. Let me move. Another webinar, travel skills webinar. On family, so we are on that. Travel skills webinar. Now, there was something coach said. Coach said, your child can go around the world, but never see the world. That indeed can. Your child can go around, you can go everywhere, but never know the real world. I was like, hey. Then she followed up by saying, your children cannot impact, influence, or change a world they don't understand. What is our family vision? Our family vision is we influence our world through excellence. So, how will my children not influence this world or impact this world through excellence if they don't know the world they want to influence? I began to implement. How did I implement this webinar? Travel time became learning time. When I joined the next circle, my older son was 4+, going on 5. His younger brother was 2. On our drive to school, in fact, we are coming to screen. In fact, no screen. We took out screen. On our drive to school, I'll turn off the radio, and then they begin to watch. They are looking at cars that are passing, people that are passing. Before my oldest son turned 6, they knew almost the whole car brands by their logo. Even me, they were teaching me because I did not know. I did not know. They would pick up, they said, this is, Mommy, this is Toyota. This is what I said, really? Okay. Like, how did they get to know that? Through the webinars. Sorry, please give me a minute. Take her inside. Take her to Kudame now. Sorry, my baby just woke up. Sorry. Take her inside, please. Um, okay, go inside. Take her to Kudame. Hurry up. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. So, through these webinars, through this travel skill webinar, they were able to know these things. Like my children, they became very, very environmentally aware. I'll tell you something that happened one day. So I had a younger sister of mine visiting. So she was to go and take them on. She was to do school runs that day. So I also began to take them to school using keke, tricycle. Yes, that was one part of my plan. So that day she was taking them to school using tricycle. And then she came back home and was like, hey, sister, these children, they almost want to disgrace me today. I was like, they disgrace you? What happened? How? She said that on their way, it looks like there was traffic. The rider saw there was a traffic in front, so he decided to take another route. He said, my children started shouting, no, sir, this is not the road. We don't know this road. No, sir. She said, the man was like, I know. He said, no, sir, this is not the road. We don't know the road. He said, the man had to move back. He said, before the teacher won't kidnap children. I laughed out loud. I was like, yes, because I have told them to be bold. They know that, okay, when we are going to school, mommy has not taken this route before. So where are you taking us? And where are you taking us through? This is because they became aware. They knew their
Well,
environment. They were environmentally aware. So they knew that, okay, this is how to go to school. That was for that. The next was when coach was teaching that webinar, she also said, comfort is the burial place for kings. That was another striking thing she said, teaching that travel skills webinar. I was like, okay, what happens really if I die today? Will I say my children will not be able to navigate? And she would always tell us, there are no lions anywhere. Do it afraid. I decided, okay, I am going to do it afraid. We began to launch the children. Now I can tell you confidently, my 8-year-old would run errands around our vicinity. We took it a step further this holiday. He would take tricycle, goes to his supermarket. He's 8-year-old. He would tell you, what do I do when I'm going? I would watch. I'll look. If I'm not comfortable, I won't board. We took them through that steps using the safety webinar as well. You tell mommy, before I board, I would watch, listen to myself, and know if I go or not. He began to do that. My 5-year-old also can go down the street, buy things, and come back inside safely and in time. Travel skills helped us. I am confident that my children can go anywhere and at any time. Another thing that webinar did for us was helping our children learn cultural awareness. That was another thing that webinar did, cultural awareness. I live in Lagos, and it's Yoruba. I allow them I take Yoruba, the teaching of Yoruba, learning, like, I take it very seriously. Let them hear, let them interact. You ask me, what did they say? We'll try to interpret. Another thing we did was speaking of pidgin. I used to be that girl that wants her children to speak supri, like.
phonetic.
Yes, it's good. It's beautiful. But like coach will say, if we grow children that will look kidnappable, I was like, what it means it will be so nice that when they see your children, if you see my children, those that are male version, they look buttish. But let them open their mouth when they're speaking English, when it needs to divert. That day, my son was like, I called my son. I said, Alwaye, where are you? He said, Mommy, are they come? I said, Oshe. But before now, I felt it was flex to, don't know, we don't speak pidgin in our house. We don't speak, we don't talk. But now, I allow them express themselves. Another thing I did was bringing it down to my own dialect. Because My parents are both from the same place, but somehow, we're not really taught the dialect. But because I have ears for language, I studied French, by the way. I have ears for language, so I am able to pick up languages. So I was able to pick up my dialect, but I am not as fluent. But the ones I know, my husband is from my side, but he too is a Lagos boy. So he doesn't also understand the dialect. What I began to do, I was like, the fact that I don't know much does not mean that my children will go missing. No. The first thing we did, because my husband too knew, we knew that it was a disservice for us as adults not to be able to speak so fluently, even though I am trying, like I'm doing, but I am not there. But for him, it's almost a zero. So he knew it was a disservice. So the first thing we agreed upon while giving birth is first, our children, their first name will be their native names. First. That was one way my husband, we wanted to, indoctrinate them. So that wherever they go in the world, they should go to Chinese. Your first name will single you as a Nigerian, a bona fide Edo boy. So that's the first thing. And then I began to also get them to greet me in my dialect. So you don't wake up and say, good morning, mommy. No. You wake up and you greet me in the dialect, Nanga woman. Another thing we did was, it was during one of my intentional parenting journey. I think it was in the Chizu room. I think it was 2 years ago. Mr. Chizu was talking. It was like the children say, thank you, Nam, thank you, name. I said, I picked that one immediately. So my children, no, you don't call me mommy, call me woman. The boys, their dad, era men. That way we began to, put in cultural intelligence. We began to teach them. Learning our dialect was one of the things I knew was going to, move us from where we were to the other part. Um, our Another thing we did with that was devotion. So we made our devotion. During devotion, all my childhood tribal songs. That's what we use. So if you call my children today for devotion, the first thing they would sing is they begin to bring out our dialect songs, and then I interpret. So that way, we are moving to the promised land. Gradually, gradually. The next we will be creating a social roadmap. Maybe after this I will pause. Sorry, I'm taking too much
No,
time.
ma'am. Go
The
on,
next,
please. Please.
the next will be creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z. My sister, I created roadmap for myself first. I did not have roadmap. Maybe I created, let's say, creating roadmap for a millennial. That's what I first did. I had to
For
create
yourself first.
for myself first. Let me tell you what struck me first. Coach asked a question. She started that session with a question. She said, do you have 4 crazy roof tearing friends? Can you count as a parent, as an individual? Can you count 4 crazy roof tearing friends? She asked that question when she was talking about the paralytic who came in, who went all out to get their friend to see Jesus. When coach made that statement, I said, child, this missile hit me direct. Like he passed through the bulletproof that I wore and struck my heart. Like
Sorry.
he shattered everything. Because I used to be that girl that I pride in, I don't have friends. I don't do friends. And I only have acquaintances. But coach told us, you don't do life alone. If something happens to you, are there people that can come up and say, and that if something is happening to me in the middle of the night, is there somebody I can call? Are there people I can say, I know that if I call this person, because I know this person, because we are aligned in vision, in purpose, in mindset, I know that this person would bring down the roof to get to me. Do I have those people? My sister, the answer was no. I didn't. So I went to work. I can tell you today, confidently, that as we speak today, I have those friends. Yes. And who gave me those friends? Inner circle. Shout out to my sisters. They know themselves. Mom Shasha, Debbie, Kiro, Pastor Liz, my sisters. Like now, I don't even have just 4. I have like 7 of them. Like they are sisters that in the middle of the night, I can call them. They are sisters that I can. Oh, I think, Ife Sinachi is frozen. Okay, let me go on. Let me just go on. There are sisters that I can call at any time of the day and they would answer. Inner Circle gave me those sisters. I became somebody that now has people. You know how I get people? Inner Circle gave me these people because I didn't know I could have them. I didn't know they were necessary. But going through that the course, creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z, gave me the confidence to have those ladies in my corner. Okay. I think she's still frozen. Okay, let me go on. Please, I don't know if I can still be heard.
I am here.
Is
I
it
can
from
hear
my
you. Sorry
oh,
about that.
okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So I was saying that Inner Circle gave me sisters. Let me tell you something. Do you know that the sisters, the friends Inner Circle has given me, for the first time, I was being, sorry, please. For the first time in my, how many years, I was wowed by people called friends. While I was pregnant for my last daughter, I didn't even know. These sisters of mine threw me a baby shower. Like, I had a baby shower. This is my 3rd child. I was, that day, it was a mixture of emotions. I was like, how? From where? Even my husband was like, oh, he wasn't around. He just called in. I was like, what is going on? I said, I don't know. Like, I was shocked. Like, I was celebrated. They showed me love. That is what implementing can do. That is what it can do. And with this, my sisters, you know, when coach was talking about these girls they're my anchor, like anywhere. When coach was talking about, I think the last webinar, I think back to school, I think Coach Omola, Coach Omola was talking about when you bring your children, like children are going to school, are you spiritually prepared or not? Me, my sisters and I, we just finished a 2-day fast and prayer. Like, we just finished. Like, you know, these are sisters that you have them all from spiritually, financially. When you need advice, there are people that are like-minded. Creating this social roadmap gave these girls to me. Another set of sisters that I recently found are my fitness sisters. And now I have from the inner circle still, not outside though. See, inner circle is all encompassing. It is all encompassing. Everything you need, everything you ever want is in the inner circle. And it is easy also doing business in the inner circle because you know that you're dealing with people of like mind. You're dealing with people of the same. Inner circle is not just about parenting. That's another thing. Inner circle is about personal development because as we go on, we are being developed. So you're able to, easily do businesses. Shout out to the Lagos Yadas group. Lagos Yadas. See, that group is on another level. What do you want? Which question? What do you want to do? The Lagos Yadas group. It gives you everything. You have questions on parenting, business, social life, anything you want. You see, that place at times, it is in Lagos Yadas group that if you snooze, you will come and meet 2,000 messages waiting for you to catch up on. And guess what? Many times they are not just gists. They are not just random talks. No, we don't do anyhow in the yard. There are things that you will read through and you must gain something. What about my cohorts? Cohort one, oh yeah, that's to the world. We are outliers. We shatter glass ceilings. In a second, building that roadmap has given me my cohort one. Oh, is like it's a place that I am not always online, but sometimes it seems as if I'm always online. No, coach has also taught us when coach tells you that she works online, she does everything online, but when she looks at her screen time, like 3 hours max or 1 hour on social media, I was like, hey, so. So I also every time I would have to come online, I go to my cohort 1. Something is always happening, something is always vibing. My leader, Nadia leader, shout out to her, to my leader. Ekenime. I talk Akpan. Like she's the Jagabado. She is the leader. I say it proudly. She is the leader. Now my leader be there. She is the leader of all. Because the cohort is a place where we come in, we cruise and learn, and it sticks. We are so vulnerable. That is one thing, the inner circle. So inner circle is the map itself. I used the inner circle to create my own social roadmap, and it has trickled down to other areas because it's now easy for me to, whatever I want to do, I come to the inner circle, person there. I'm also able to, spread my tentacles, take what I am learning from the inner circle and move it. So that is how the social roadmap, I have created it for myself first. Now I have moved, like you say, when you change, it doesn't just stay with you. It trickles to other areas of your life. One thing coach said during our webinar is, I must help my children to blend in and stand out. I, as a person, I must be able, everywhere I find myself, everywhere my children find themselves, they must be able to blend in and stand out, because the world doesn't accommodate you for fitting. The world, would accommodate you for fitting in, but it will reward you for standing out.
Yes.
I was like, I began to work with that. My children would get to a place. My children now cannot be in a place and you don't know they are there. If it happen. Even amongst 100 children, somehow you would single them out for one skill or the other. It was also in that skill that coach was talking about. So goodness is not a skill. Goodness is not a skill. That you are good does not mean that you would excel. We need skills. We need communication skills. You need negotiation skills. You need people skill. You need relationship skill to be able to make an impact. And that I began to do that with imbibe my children. How did I do this? I allowed them have a voice, so they could voice out at home. They could unapologetically express how they feel. So they could say no. Then I taught them how to say no without being rude. They could politely explain, even though, with my courageous child that is 5-year-old, we are still fine-tuning other rough edges. But with my son, they could actually say no, and they would say it politely. So recently, my son went to camp. Part of our strategy was for my 8-year-old to go out alone. So this long holiday, we got an opportunity. Still from my sisters that I got in the yard. My son went for a 5-day free camp. If I was to pay for that camp, I don't know how much I would have paid. I don't know how much I would have paid if I was to pay for him going to that camp. But he went for camp, and on the day I was going to pick him, I saw some of their chaperones like, Aloy's mom. I said, I was like, yes, this is she. He said, wow, your son. Now, this is a camp where you had so many boys. And my son, the camp was for ages between 8 and 16. So my son is just 8. So he's almost like the youngest. He should be in the youngest age group. But They knew he was there. The boy came home and came home with medals. Like, was like, this boy is this boy is this. And guess what? My son came back from that camp as the neatest boy in camp for an 8-year-old. Not just an 8-year-old, an 8-year sanguine child. You know how sanguine children are.
Mm-hmm.
This child, when we started, was that kind of child that was everywhere, things scattered. But with the learnings from Inner Circle, with structure, with systems, with routines, Inner Circle has helped me. It has helped me train him up. You know, we used to say that men, they feed anyhow. It's girls that will try to trim and we want girls to be prim and proper. Like girls that ones that will be
That's
secondary.
why the real boys,
No, 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 I was
they
like,
will
no,
take
no, no, no,
us.
no, 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 no. Coach, all those things are normalized nonsense, as we call it in the yard. Your even the boy, it can be neat. Who says a boy cannot be clean? Who says a boy cannot be neat? One of the reasons I keep saying is one of the
Yes.
reasons why amongst my suitors I married my husband is not because he was there. One of the things that singled him out was I was like, so men feel they clean like this. A man can be this proper down to his kitchen. So I was like, no. Even when I saw that my first old was a sanguine, and you know how they can be, and then coach now tell us about Ayo and how disorganized and how long it's taking them to teach him organization skill. I was like, okay, we will do this. My sister, I tell you, as of today, my son can arrange his wardrobe 20 times in a week. If you move, this is the same child that was anywhere, drop things anyhow, put
Everywhere.
things any. You know, we began, you know that snacks in the yard, kings don't throw themselves in the mud. It affected every area. I tell you that my son went to camp and came back as neat, amongst other awards he got, came back as neatest boy in camp. I was like, oh shit, that is it. Like, we are walking and they show. Like, so, you know, you get confidence. So these things taught me that. It also taught me about the place of other adults. Do I have this money? It's not as if uh, it's not, but when you know what you want, you begin to plan. The place of planning. It also helped me now. I knew that okay, my son he's getting to pre-puberty age. We enrolled them in the Boys Leadership Academy. So as I dey talk one, Kochebuka, you know Kochebuka now. I call him the man with the unfiltered mouth. He says it wow. The way it is. It comes from there. Wow. So he has also, as I am talking, Kochebuka is bringing in his own, you know, and they are growing. What about the financial literacy on? Now, getting this the financial literacy webinar with the skills I have from Inner Circle, I've been able to begin to give my children allowance. Shrinking money, oh, it's not one allowance. And then with that allowance, they've been able to be taught. When you call my children now, they would tell you, if you're giving money, what do you do? So my son was given an essay to write in school. If you were giving 1 million, what will you do with it? So I asked him, okay, to write and bring it, then I correct. Guess what my boy wrote?
Oh,
If I'm giving 1 million, first, I'll take out my tithes. I was like, I was like, yes. Take out my tithe, which is 10%. Then I will save 50%. I say, oh, shey. All these were learnings. And you know, these things were things that when coach asked us to implement, I just called them, we spoke about it, then I'll give him money. Okay, bring your book, do budget, do this. And then this boy was able to, when he wrote that, I knew that yes, this thing is entering. For him to be able to write that in an essay, that means this guy knows. So we began to do that. Now they have a goal. When I give them their 1K for the month, when they remove tithe, they're able to budget. They're able to come and tell me, this is what I want. This is how I do it. Let me move quickly. Honor as a skill. With honor as a skill, I will not. But what I did with honor as a skill, you know, they told honor as a skill is customer service brought home. I picked up honor as a skill, and you know, for my children, first with my children, I had helped them realize that you are kings. So I would treat them as kings. First, when the school they were going to at that time, they were their lunch boxes. I don't pack their lunch box the way you will pack anybody's lunch box. As at the time, I was still packing their lunch boxes. Even when they began to do it themselves, they understood. So if you're going to eat rice and stew, with your food flags that you have rice is different from the one that you have stew. You don't put them inside. The way you want to now eat, everything now be scattered everywhere. And I said, no, 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 this is not as a king. That was me bringing in honor. And then I put an extra plate for them. So when you want to eat, just the way you will eat at home, you will dish from the main bowl to your plate and dish stew. The same thing. Packed it neatly. The teacher, when they went to school, one of the teacher was like, ma, is this your own method? It's like, I said, no, no, no. Because sometimes, when the children come back after staring that thing, the food would have gone bad also. I said, no, and it is not honorable. He said, your children will come with extra plates. They'll be dishing food as if they are sitting on the dining table and saying, yes, they are kings. So they will learn to eat as kings. They learn to do things as kings. Ma, let me,
Thank
if I
you
can
so
squeeze.
much. Thank you so much.
Do something.
We have Inner Circle webinar today. Ma, I am your story, your journey, your process is worthy of emulating. And I'm sure people that is joining us, our listeners who are not here, that they will be saying, they will just be there, they will just be listening. When you see, I love yadas with teeth, yadas that implement. When you see a yada, you know that this is a yada. I love yadas that put in the work. When you see, if you see a yadas child, you could literally see. You can, if you see them, you can literally pick them out. You can literally handpick them with the work and the show. You can't implement and you will remain.
So,
No way. You could literally hear her. She's spoken about the community, her business, her children, her 8 years old child. You think it's impossible? It is not. It is literally possible. This is why I say the inner circle is not a place you come for motivational talk. That's not what we do. She said she have literally poured out her lived in experience. Her story is a lived experience. You could see that it works in practical terms. If you pick it and you run with it and you implement, it works. It's her. Listening to her, you could literally hear that it is a hands-on wisdom. Just go with it and apply it to your real life, and you just run with it. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was so powerful. Even me, as I was listening, I was like, So, ma, moving on, please. Well, before we round off for the inner circle webinar, I want to know how the inner circle has impacted your marriage, your relationship at home, your connection with your husband. Please share with us, ma. Thank you so much.
okay, I promise to be very fast. So, Inner Circle has made me a girl with sense. Inner Circle has turned me. I didn't want to go into that webinar because that webinar alone, if I begin to pour out everything that happened that last month, I'm literally going to stay here for the whole day. But Inner Circle has made me a girl with sense. I used to be that very emotional. You know how there's something going on, you want to express. Before you talk one, two, you now start crying. You now start blackmailing. I am very emotional. But Inner Circle has taught me that you don't come to the king with tears. No. Esther did not go to the king crying or dragging his leg. She prepared herself. She armed herself and went with wisdom. So Inner Circle has taught me how to be wise, how to diplomatically. I'm so sorry about that. I was knocked out. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
ma, we
so
can hear you loud and clear.
Inner Circle gave me sense. So now I am not the crying baby anymore. I am not the crying wife. I'm not the wife that there's an issue to discuss and you will cry to. I am not able to, convey my points. I'm able to speak and my husband will listen and get see reasons. Formerly, You will cry and cry out in conversation. Everything will come back to the same. Because when you begin to cry and cry and cry, it becomes okay. Anytime she wants to talk, let's get ready for cry galore. But now I am confident. And like I said in the beginning, my husband, he's like, you have grown. My husband can come to me and ask, there's an issue, he can come to me and ask, I want to do this. What do you think? Because he now knows that I will not give him what he wants to hear. I have wisdom. I would speak wisdom because I have learned to sit with myself, understand who I am, and bring it to the table. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Parents in the building, you've seen that when unity and marriage flows, it flows into parenting, and that's the alignment of the children. Thank you so very much, ma. Okay, now I know there are parents here who are on the fence, who are still in doubt, who are still there. They are still wondering, "Will this work? Is it?" Please, I want you to share with them. I want you to tell them, people who are still on the fence, what's that one thing you would say to them to actually say to them that this thing works? You've seen it, you've lived it, you've gone through it, and you are a living testimony that it works. Please, over to you. Thank you so much, ma.
Okay. Can I still be heard? Can I
Yes,
still be
ma,
heard, ma?
please, loud and clear. Go on.
Now,
Yes, ma, we can hear you.
I would say to you that parenting is not meant to be done alone. It is not a solo journey. Parenting was meant to be done in a community. And many times we think we know, but the world as we know it has evolved. And as it evolves, things are evolving. How would you feel being in a place where even aspects of your life, you know what the inner circle does to you? It shows you your blind spots. There are places that in your parenting that you never knew, I should pay attention to this. The inner circle is holistic. It gives you your blind spot. If you are not in the yard, it's okay. Give yourself grace, but do not miss this opportunity because aside the knowledge, aside you grow as a person. And how much is it? When we broke it down, how much do you pay per day? We spend more than that on things that do not move us to the next level of our lives. But inner circle goes beyond parenting. It impacts yourself. So if you're not in the yard, you're doing yourself a great disservice. Because in this place, you grow, your family, it will show all around, and it will rub off on everything around you. So see the TIP as a village. Parenting is war. You can't fight alone. Beyond your money paid, the deeper connections that happens in the yard, the things you get in the inner circle is so much that you would be your posterity would thank you for. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. That was so powerful. And she said, if you're not in the yard, it is okay. But you can start from where you are. You can join now. It's never too late. You can begin from where you are and begin to adjust. Come into that safe space. And if you're not in the yard, why now? What are you doing out there? You want to do kalu kalu first. You want to fail first and come and start seeking for help.
Why na?
You can do prevention. When you can do prevention now. And you know one thing, when you come into this space, it is not for yourself only. Oh. It's for your children, it's for your generation. So what are you waiting for? Your children's future is what making that move today for. Click the link and come into the yard. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Edith. It was worth it. It was nice having you here today. Thank you for sharing your journey with us with such honesty and such vulnerability. I know parents in the yard, parents in the community, parents listening, parents here have heard and they have listened and they have taken their takeaway. I hope you've heard and you've clearly seen that this journey is doable. It's not just about raising children, it's about raising yourself so your children can rise higher. Parents in the inner circle will meet you where you are. And I don't know what you are still waiting for. Thank you so much, Ma. I will let you go and have time with your baby and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. We really appreciate. Bye. See you in the yard. Come and join us. The Inner Circle webinar is in few minutes. See you in the yard, Ma. Bye. Thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking your time to be here today and to listen to my. Yes, we've just rounded up. And if you are still out there and you've not joined the Inner Circle, I still want to remind you that the discount registration is still open. Take it now while it's still open. Join the Inner Circle program. Join the community where you get everything that you need, everything that it's worth taking to be in the inner circle. It's something that when you come into the space, it transforms all your life. It's not just about your children. It's not just about raising the children who are. It's about you first. It's about being transforming yourself before your children. The inner circle registration is worth it. Thank you. Don't forget that you can still get your books from our distributors all over the world, and we still have amazing rates. We still have copies like the inner the raising your business, connect to correct, and we have other copies. If you need our book, please reach out to us. Thank you for joining me, and until then, see you tomorrow. We'll be having our guest Adeze. You don't know what is coming. Don't forget, don't miss to join. Also spread this information, tell other parents, inform them, tell them to get ready. Once at 8 a.m. WAT time, we'll be here again. See you. Bye.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?